Welcome again to the old principal. 我就是老校长, and we have another interesting, well, at least I think so, English educational instructional lesson. Now, the reason why I think it's interesting is because my story, but you will find it interesting because in today's lesson, as in all of our lessons, you will hear new words, you will get opportunity to listen to me speak English, and this is West Coast English, 美国西方的英文. So that's Washington, Oregon, California, 西方的英文. Personally, I'm not sure about this, but I'll make a guess that the clearest English, even in America, is on the West Coast. Okay? So somebody may disagree with me, but I've heard other people say this, so okay. Now, here we go, but before we begin, let's let Mrs. Ash, my wife, read the story from beginning to end, and then we'll come back and we'll look at it and we'll tell you a lot more about culture shock. Culture, 不同的文化，吃惊, okay, shock, 休克. So before we do, let's listen to the story.
Story 297, Culture Shock. For the first couple of weeks that we lived in Taichung, we stayed with another family. We lived in a little apartment they called the maids' quarters. The weather was hot and steamy, and the little room smelled like mildew. By now, we were past the weariness of jet lag, so I decided that it was time to begin jogging again. Putting on my running shorts, I said goodbye and went out on the street. I was afraid that I might get lost, so I devised a little plan. In America, if I run around a city block, all I have to do is count the corners I turn. I would turn right at the first corner, then right at the second corner, and right at the third corner, and right at the fourth corner. Presto, I would be back where I started. I did it as I had planned. But by the fourth turn, I discovered that I was lost. I was so confident that I wouldn't get lost that I had failed to notice what my address was. My few minutes of jogging lasted for an hour and a half. How grateful I was when I finally found the place where we were staying. Another frustration was the food. I didn't mind the new kinds of food and new flavors. As a matter of fact, I love Chinese food. But if we were not careful, it was very easy to get diarrhea. The morning I got lost jogging, I had some stomach cramps. I thought it was just because of excitement. But the jogging didn't help. In fact, if anything, I felt worse. I had eaten something wrong. The oriental bacteria that had entered into my intestines were fighting with the resident American bacteria. That uncomfortable war was repeated off and on for many years. But now things have changed because sometimes when I go back to America, the food there makes me sick.
Welcome back. Are you ready to begin? For the first couple weeks that we lived in Taichung, we stayed with another family. Okay, so we've gone to Taiwan. We arrived in Taipei. We lived in Taipei for a couple days. And then we went down island. Down. When I say down island, I mean 往南, nan. Usually down is nan, and up is north, 往北. Now, I suppose that if you lived in Australia, it would be opposite, right? But I don't know, because I live in the northern hemisphere, 上半球, so whatever the case is. For the first couple weeks, we lived in Taichung, and we stayed with another family. So that was good because they prepared our food and they helped us to get orientated and 帮助我们适应等等. We lived in a little apartment they called the maid's quarters. Okay, 小小的这个公寓. They called it the maid's quarters. Maid's quarters is 佣人房, the maid's quarters. Now, there was something very interesting about the maid's quarters that it just smelled musty. Why? Because the weather was hot and steamy. Okay, the weather, okay, so that's 气候或天气. Hot and steamy. 又热又潮湿, steamy. Or we could say 闷热. Okay, 潮湿. Okay, hot, of course, hot is 热. Steamy 是蒸汽啊. But if we say it is hot and steamy, we say 又闷热又潮湿. Also, some people even say 闷, 很闷. Of course, this is very hot. And the little room smelled like mildew. Okay, 闻起来. Okay, 用我们的鼻子闻的. It smelled like mildew. 有发霉的一个香味. Okay, and this was new because we had never ever smelled this type of stuff before. Now it's much more common, although I try to avoid it. Going on. By now we were past the weariness of jet lag. If you've ever traveled overseas, you know what jet lag is. I mean, if you're going east and west, you know what jet lag is. If you're going north and south, no problem, because your time zone is the same. 时差, jet lag. North and south, maybe no time change. But if you travel east and west, you will be tired because of jet lag. When people come from America to Hong Kong, where I live now, if they come to Hong Kong, they at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it feels like somebody hit 敲他们的头, and suddenly they get so tired and so weary. And many were the times that people would say, oh, just let me rest. And they would go to sleep, and then they would wake up at midnight, 半夜, and say, hey, It's dark outside. What happened? Jet lag does very strange things to a person. So even though I was past jet lag, I decided that I was going to be beginning manpao, jogging. I heard somebody just the other day say jogging. No, it's jogging. Manpao. Going on. I putting on my running shoes. I said goodbye and went out on the street. So I brought my running shoes. I said goodbye, bye-bye, 再见, and I went out on the street. 就上街去了, okay? I was afraid, now this is interesting, I was afraid that I might get lost. Because I couldn't speak Chinese, and the people of Taiwan couldn't speak English, especially then, even now. So I thought, oh, what if I get lost? This would be awful to get lost. So I devised a little plan. 我想好一个小小的计划. I devised 想好一个小小的计划. In America, here's the way I was thinking at that time. In America, if I ran around a city block. Now, I explain what a city block is. You have roads, streets going this direction, and you have roads and streets going this direction. A block is one little section. Okay, 四个角，好像四方的. Okay, it goes there, 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 and that is a city block. Okay, so if I'm in America, all I have to do as I run is I count how many turns or how many corners I go around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, actually we'll go in that. Okay, all I have to do is count the corners I turn. 我只要算出来我拐弯多少次. Going on. I would turn right at the first corner, and then right at the second corner, and then right at the third corner, and then right at the fourth corner. So this is simple logic. 简单的逻辑, my simple light, and that is I would turn right at the first corner. Okay, 到了第二个十字路口，又是要转弯 right turn. 三个十字路口，又是转弯 and the fourth one, okay, and then I'm back where I started. Do you understand? All I had to do is I start here, I turn 1, 2, 3, 4, and I should be back home, right? Okay, going on. Presto! Now, what does presto mean? Presto is a saying. It's like magic, 好像变魔术. It has the meaning, presto has the meaning of success, 成功啊. If you look at the internet and you ask, what does presto mean? It'll say, 成功了, success. Wow, success. 1, 2, 3, 4, presto, success, 成功了. I would be back. 我就会到达我开始跑的原来那个地方，原地。I did as I planned. Now, I had this plan, so I did it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and presto! Next slide. But by the fourth term, I discovered I was lost. Oh my! 1, 2, 3, 4. I opened my eyes. Obviously, my eyes were open. And I discovered that I was lost. 迷路了. Uh-oh, now what am I going to do? I was so confident that I wouldn't get lost that I had failed to notice what my address was. So confident. 这么有确信 confident 很有信心呢. I was confident I wouldn't get lost. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, back there, that I had failed. 我就忽略to 注意 failed to notice. 我没有注意 what my address is. Obviously, nowadays, I'm a lot smarter than in the past. Sometimes I even carry the address written on me, just in case I can't find my way home. But I didn't know what my address was. Since I didn't know what my address was, going on, my few minutes of jogging, 我几分钟的慢跑, lasted for an hour and a half. 一个半小时. 我还在运动，还在找. How grateful I was. 我多么感激 when I finally found the place where we were staying. 我 finally found. I 终于找到我们住的地方. I was very grateful. But there's something else that you need to know. Another frustration of going overseas is food. I didn't mind new kinds of food. I like trying new kinds of food. 试一试新的食物 is good. And new flavors, 新的口味 flavors, 口味 new flavors. As a matter of fact, I love Chinese food. That's right. I enjoy Chinese food. And in America especially. And now, I think real Chinese food is food out in China, not food in America. That's American Chinese food. And that's completely different going on. But if we were not careful, it was easy to get diarrhea. If we were not careful, 如果我们不小心的话，我们会发生diarrhea, 拉肚子, 泻肚子. And that is very a problem. So, but we didn't realize that this would be a problem when we first went there. Going on. The morning I got lost, okay, jogging, that morning that I was jogging and I got lost, I had some stomach cramps. 我肚子有一点抽筋啊，等于说 it was pain. Somehow there was pain down there. 很不舒服. I thought it was just because of excitement. So I thought it was because of excitement. And so I said, well, if it's excitement, then I need to go jogging, 消除 this excitement, and jogging will be good for me. But the jogging didn't help. In fact, 其实, okay, the jogging didn't help me. 其实, if anything, 反而, okay, if anything, you can translate if anything. Strange word, but I would translate it here. If anything, 这个反而, I felt worse. 我感到更不舒服，更不好。I had eaten something wrong. 我吃坏了，我吃坏了。I don't know what I had eaten, but I had eaten something wrong. Going on. Interestingly enough, okay, in your stomach or in your intestines, 这个肠你的肠 okay, you have lots of bacteria. This is normal. 这个是正常的 okay. The Oriental bacteria, okay, 亚洲地区的细菌呢 that had entered my intestines, 已经进入我的肠道 okay, my intestines. What was happening? They were fighting the resident American bacteria. Okay, several words here that you need to know. Bacteria is 细菌, okay, so you understand that, had entered my intestines. Of course, that's your, you have the small intestines, big intestines, okay. This is where the actual digestion process, 消化就是在那个地方, okay. And then they were fighting the resident American bacteria. Okay, fighting the resident American bacteria. Resident means that a resident is 长居留的美国的细菌啊，长居 resident. Like for instance, if you have a residence certificate, okay, then you have 居留证 to reside, to live in a certain place. That uncomfortable war was repeated off and on for many years. Now, some people have a hard time translating off and on for years. Okay, that uncomfortable 阵仗, okay, that uncomfortable war was repeated. It happened many times over the next many years. It happened not many times, but off and on. You could say Oran, but Oran maybe not enough. Maybe once a year, twice a year. Nowadays, I don't have so much of a trouble with that, at least out here going on. Now things are quite changed, very much changed. And that is because when I go back to America, the food there makes me sick. I remember when I went back to America, when my youngest son was graduating from high school in America, 小儿子 graduating from high school, 中学毕业, I went there, and the whole weekend, 毕业那个周末, the whole weekend, I was very sick because what? Because the food, somehow, the American food did not like, or my Oriental 亚洲地区的细菌呢. So, the moral of the story is be cautious what you eat. Be very, very careful so that you don't get diarrhea. Now, having said that, you can see that I am experiencing culture shock. Some people say, how long does it take to get over culture shock? Well, every person is different. But my experience is the average American gets over culture shock in about 3 or 4 months. In 3 or 4 months, you start to feel comfortable about your environment, your everything, and you're okay. Well, we don't have any more time to talk about that, but let's take a look at our email address. Our email address is theoldprinciple@gmail.com, and the website is www.theoldprinciple.org. With that, I must say goodbye, but I hope that you will join us next time also. Until then, bye-bye.